Take a good look at your bank account. Then look at your plans for this year. Now ask yourself, why is it that the people who say they love you the most are the very ones holding you back? Think about the last time you shared a big dream at the dinner table. You were excited. You were ready to change your life. And what did they do? They didn't scream. They didn't attack you. They just said, "Are you sure about that? Or that sounds risky. Maybe just stick to what you know." With those 5 words, they planted a seed of doubt that grew until you gave up. Here is the brutal truth. Your family is the biggest obstacle to your growth. Not because they hate you, but because they know you. To your family, you will always be the kid who made mistakes, the one who failed that test, or the one who couldn't keep a secret. They don't see the person you are becoming. They only see the version of you that fits in their head. When you share your next big move, they don't see a breakthrough, they see a risk. They don't plant seeds of hope, they plant seeds of doubt because they are terrified of seeing you get hurt. They call it protection. Machiavelli called it a cage. Every time you tell them your true income or your side hustle, you are inviting them to manage your life. You're giving them a vote in a business where they don't even work. You think you're being close, but you're actually just giving them the map to your insecurities. They won't use that map to hurt you, but they will use it to hold you back, to keep you safe, and to keep you exactly where you've always been. The greatest threat to your future isn't a stranger's hate, it's your family's concern. Silence isn't about being mean or acting like they are the enemy. Silence is about keeping your fire hot enough to actually burn. As the old saying goes, do not let your left hand know what your right hand is doing. If you want to change your life, you have to stop asking for permission from people who are comfortable with you staying the same. Every time you tell them your next big move, you aren't getting advice, you're getting a list of their own fears. You're asking for permission from people who haven't traveled where you're going. You are inviting a jury of people who love the old you to judge the new you. Today, we are drawing a line in the sand. We are going to look at the 5 things you must hide to keep your power. Not because your family is bad, but because your future is too expensive to be gambled on their opinions. If you're tired of being talked out of your own greatness, listen close. The person they think you are is about to die. The person you actually are is about to take over. 1. Your true income. The moment you tell your family exactly how much money you make, you stop being a person and you start being a price tag. Sharing your true income with your family is the fastest way to turn your success into a communal resource. Machiavelli knew that men are driven by 2 things, fear and interest. When your family knows exactly how much you have, their interest in your life shifts. They don't mean to be greedy, they aren't bad people, but in their minds, your surplus is the solution to their lack. You think sharing your salary is a way to show them you're doing well. You want them to be proud. You want that pat on the back from your parents or that look of respect from your siblings. But you are playing a dangerous game with human nature. You aren't just sharing a number, you are handing them a ruler to measure what they can take from you. This is the harsh truth. When you reveal your income, you lose the right to say no without being the villain. Think about the last time a cousin needed a small loan, or your parents talked about a repair they can't afford. If they know you have the money, your no isn't a boundary, it's an insult. By being honest about your bank account, you have effectively ended your right to say no without being the villain. You have traded your financial freedom for a moment of bragging rights, and now you're paying the interest in guilt. Machiavelli warned that men forget the death of their father sooner than the loss of their patrimony. Money changes the temperature of a room instantly. When they know you're making significantly more than them, the dynamic shifts. You aren't the younger brother or the son anymore. You are the bank. You are currently suffering from the need for approval. You want them to see the digits so they finally respect the hustle. But respect doesn't come from numbers. It comes from mystery. When they don't know what you make, they have to treat you based on your character. When they do know, they treat you like a walking ATM. They start doing the math for you. He makes 6 figures, surely he can pay for the holiday dinner. She's got that big bonus. She won't mind covering the gap. Every time you leak your income, you are inviting them to become your unofficial board of directors. They will judge how you spend your money. If you buy a nice car, they'll whisper about your spending habits while they struggle. If you save it, they'll call you stingy. You have given them a seat at a table where they don't belong. Money is the most sensitive nerve in the human body. By exposing yours, you are touching that nerve every time you see them. You are creating a silent tension that colors every birthday, every holiday, and every phone call. You think you're being part of the team, but a team has a captain, and a captain doesn't show the crew the map to the treasure room. He keeps the ship moving. If you want to keep the peace and keep your wealth, you must become a financial ghost. You should look comfortable, but never rich. You should be doing well, but never loaded. Stop looking for validation in their eyes. Their pride in you is a trap if it's tied to your paycheck. If they only respect you because of the size of your bank account, they aren't respecting you, they are respecting your utility. You feel that tightening in your chest? That's the realization that you've already said too much. You've already let the cat out of the bag. You're wondering if it's too late to walk it back. It's not, but from this second forward, the vault is closed. You are no longer the family's financial solution. You are a person with a private life and a private ledger. But money is only the surface. If you think your income is a danger to reveal, you have no idea what happens when you share your vision. You are about to see how the people who love you the most can become the biggest anchors on your soul, not because they want you to fail, but because they are terrified of who you will become when you succeed. We are moving into a territory that is much more dangerous than your bank account. We are going to talk about your next big move. This is where most dreams go to die, in the living room of people who just want you to be safe. If you don't learn how to hide your trajectory, you will be shot down before you even leave the runway, and the person pulling the trigger will be the one holding the camera at your graduation. 2. Your next big move. You have a dream. You have a plan to change your life, to quit that job, to start that business, or to move to a city where no one knows your name. And because you're excited, the first thing you want to do is tell your family. You want them to see the fire in your eyes. You want them to tell you that you're brave and that they believe in you. Shut your mouth. The moment you tell your family your next big move, you have already killed half of the momentum. You think you're looking for support, but what you're actually doing is inviting a committee of people who are stuck in the past to vote on your future. Here is the harsh truth. Your family doesn't want you to fail, but they are terrified of you being different. They have a map of who you are in their heads. To them, you are the person who struggled in school, the one who is too impulsive, or the one who always plays it safe. When you announce a move that doesn't fit that map, it scares them. It forces them to look at their own stagnant lives and realize they haven't moved in a decade. So, they don't attack your dream directly. They do something much more dangerous. They concern you to death. Are you sure about that? Is now really the right time? What if it doesn't work out? We just don't want to see you get hurt. They wrap their own fears in the blanket of love and hand them to you. And because it's coming from your parents or your siblings, you listen. You start to doubt yourself. The fire that was burning in your chest 10 minutes ago is now being smothered by 1,000 what-ifs. By the time you finish the conversation, you aren't thinking about how to win, you're thinking about how to survive the failure they've already predicted for you. Machiavelli knew that men are so simple and so much inclined to obey immediate needs. Your family's immediate need is for you to stay predictable. If you stay the same, they don't have to change. If you stay where they can see you, they don't have to worry. They are using your transparency as a leash to keep you in the yard. Think about how many times you've announced a big goal at Sunday dinner, only to feel the energy drain out of the room. You see the skeptical looks. You hear the be realistic speeches. You are trying to build a skyscraper while they are trying to keep you in a tent. Stop explaining. They will never see the vision because they didn't receive the call. It's your move, not theirs. By telling them, you are handing them the power to plant seed doubts in your mind. Those doubts stay in the back of your head when you're working late at night. They become the voice that tells you to quit when things get hard. You've let them install a governor on your engine before you've even hit the highway. When you keep your moves secret, you maintain the element of surprise. You prevent the crab bucket effect, where they subconsciously pull you back down just as you're about to climb out. You protect your focus from their well-meaning interference. You are building a life, not a group project. You don't gain power by talking. You gain power by executing. When you finally make the move, when the business is launched, when the keys to the new house are in your hand, when the promotion is official, that's when you speak. And even then you don't explain how you did it. You let the results speak for you. When you keep your next move a secret, you remove their ability to plant seeds of doubt. They can't argue with a plan they don't know exists. They can't warn you about a path you've already traveled. You are taking away their power to manage your ambition. You are teaching them that you are no longer a project that needs their input. You are a force that produces results. But keeping the plan a secret is only the beginning. There is another layer to this game, a secret that involves the extra hours you're putting in and the hidden money you're generating while they think you're just relaxing. The next secret is the one that gives you the exit velocity to actually leave the life they've planned for you. It's the hidden engine of your freedom, and the moment they find out about it, they will try to claim a piece of it as their own. We are moving into the one thing that guarantees your independence, and why revealing it is like handing a thief the keys to your vault. 3. Your side hustles. The moment you mention your side hustle to your family, you've turned a private fire into a public spectacle. You think telling them about your secondary income streams is a way to prove you're a hustler. You want them to see that you aren't just a drone with a 9-to-5. You're an entrepreneur, a creator, a builder. You're looking for that look of surprise and admiration. But what you're actually doing is inviting a specific, soft kind of theft into your life. In the family dynamic, anything that is extra is seen as available. Here is the harsh truth. Your family sees your side hustle as play money, and they will treat it with the same lack of respect you give to a hobby. Think about how they react when they hear you're making a few thousand extra on the side. They don't see the late nights, the stress, or the risk. They just see a pile of cash that wasn't there before. To them, that money is found money. And because it didn't come from your real job, they feel no guilt asking for it. Suddenly, your sister needs a loan for her emergency, or your parents suggest you pay for a family dinner because you're doing so well with that little online thing. You have worked twice as hard as everyone else to build a cushion for your future, but because you opened your mouth, that cushion is now being used to soften everyone else's landing. You are subsidizing their comfort with your exhaustion. By revealing the hustle, you've made yourself a target for every small financial request that they wouldn't dare ask for if they thought you only had your base salary. Machiavelli understood that men are so simple and so much inclined to obey immediate needs. Your family has immediate needs, a car repair, a holiday gift, a credit card bill, and they see your side hustle as the easiest way to satisfy those needs without any real cost. They don't think they're hurting you because they don't view that income as essential. They think you're flush. They think you're lucky. Every time you talk about your side hustle, you are also inviting micromanagement. Since they don't see it as a real job, they feel entitled to give you advice on how to run it. They'll tell you it's a distraction from your main career. They'll tell you it's risky or not worth the time. They will pick at your ideas until you start to doubt them yourself. They are trying to protect you, but they are actually protecting the version of you that they recognize, a version of you that stays in the box they understand. If they know you have a secondary flow of income, you become that path. You are no longer building wealth for your future. You are building a buffer for their mistakes. By revealing your side hustle, you invite the most dangerous kind of disrespect, the trivialization of your effort. They will start asking you for favors, using the skills you get paid for. Your uncle wants a free website. Your sister wants free marketing. Your parents want you to take a look at their taxes. If you say no, you're selfish. If you say yes, you're a servant. You lose either way because you didn't keep the door locked. You are currently suffering from the validation trap. You want them to see you as a player, so you brag about your small wins. But a true strategist knows that invisible progress is the most stable progress. When your side hustle stays in the dark, the pressure stays off. You can fail in private without being judged, and you can succeed in private without being taxed. Every time you update them on your progress, you are giving them a seat at a board meeting they didn't earn. You are inviting their common sense opinions into a space where they have zero expertise. They will tell you to be careful, or don't quit your day job, or is that even legal? Keep your side hustle a secret until it is a monster. Let them wonder why you're always busy. Let them wonder how you afford that vacation or that investment. But never tell them the source. When the money is anonymous, it is yours. When the money has a name, it belongs to the tribe. You've kept your income hidden. You've kept your moves quiet. You've kept your side hustles in the dark. But there is a deeper, more emotional secret you are still leaking. It's the things you've given up to be where you are. You think sharing your struggles and sacrifices makes you relatable, but it's actually giving them the exact map they need to manipulate your emotions. The next secret is about the strategic sacrifices you've made. The moment you tell your family what you've lost or what you've suffered to succeed, you hand them the blueprint to your emotional control. We are going to look at why your pain must remain your own, or it will be used as a leash to pull you back into the past. 4. Your strategic sacrifices. The moment you tell your family what you had to give up to get ahead, you are handing them a leash. You think that by sharing your struggle, the missed sleep, the social isolation, the birthdays you skipped, the health you pushed to the limit, you are earning their respect. You want them to understand the blood price you paid to be the person you are today. You're looking for empathy. You want them to say, "I had no idea it was that hard. I'm so proud of you." But in the world of power, revealing your sacrifices doesn't make you a hero, it makes you a martyr. And a martyr is just a victim with a better story. When you tell your family what you sacrificed, they don't see your strength, they see your debt. In a family, every sacrifice is viewed as a transaction. If you tell them you gave up everything for your career or your goals, they won't celebrate your win. They will subconsciously start to think about what they gave up for you. They'll remind you of the sacrifices they made when you were a child. They will use your own story of struggle to balance the books. Suddenly, your success isn't yours. It's a debt you owe to the collective because we all suffered to get here. Think about the last time you tried to explain how tired you are. What happened? Did they give you space to rest? No, they told you how tired they are. They turned your pain into a competition. When you reveal your strategic sacrifices, you aren't getting support. You're entering a victimhood auction where the person with the most trauma wins the right to control the room. You are inviting them to judge if your sacrifice was worth it. And if they decide it wasn't, they will use that judgment to undermine every decision you make from that point forward. Machiavelli knew that men are ungrateful, fickle, simulators and deceivers. Even in a loving family, gratitude is a short-lived emotion. If you keep reminding them of what you gave up to provide for them or to make it, they will eventually grow to resent you for it. They don't want to feel indebted to you. They don't want to be reminded that their comfort was bought with your pain. To stop feeling that guilt, they will start to minimize your sacrifice. They'll tell you, nobody asked you to do that, or you chose that path yourself. You are weaponizing your own history against your future. By keeping your sacrifices secret, you maintain an aura of effortless superiority. When you show up with the results, the house, the car, the stable life, and you don't talk about the hell you went through to get it, you appear as a finished, powerful product. People respect what they perceive as natural power. They exploit what they perceive as struggle power. If they know you're barely holding it together, they will wait for you to crack. If they think you've reached the top without breaking a sweat, they won't dare challenge your position. Stop looking for pity points at the Sunday dinner table. Your family is not your therapist. Every time you complain about the price you're paying, you are signaling that the price might be too high for you. You are showing them your breaking point. You are telling them exactly how much pressure it takes to make you whine. A prince never complains about the weight of the crown. He just wears it. If you talk about the weight, you're suggesting you aren't strong enough to carry it. Stop looking for credit for your suffering. Your sacrifices are the silent engine of your success. They are the price of admission to a life they cannot understand. When you talk about them, you make your success look like a burden. You make your life look like a tragedy. People don't follow or respect a tragedy. They pity it, and pity is the absolute death of power. If your family pities you, they will never follow your lead. They will treat you like a wounded soldier who needs to be managed, not a leader who needs to be heard. Think about the hero trope. A true hero doesn't walk around telling everyone how heavy the shield is. The moment they complain about the weight, they stop being a hero and start being a victim. You have spent years training your mind and body to handle the pressure. Why would you ruin that image by begging for a thank you? The silence surrounding your struggle is what gives you gravitas. You've experienced this loop. You tell them you're burnt out. Instead of helping, they give you advice that sounds like a command to quit. Maybe you should slow down. Maybe you should come back home. Is all that money really worth your happiness? They aren't trying to save your health. They are trying to save the version of you that was easier to relate to. They want the unsuccessful, relatable you back. Keep your scars under your shirt. The nights you spent crying, the meals you skipped, the relationships you had to end to keep your focus. Those are your private capital. They belong to you. They are the secret source of your success. The moment you share them, you dilute their power. You turn your private grit into public drama. You've learned to hide your income, your moves, your hustles, and your pain. You've built a fortress around your identity. But there is one final piece of data that you are likely still giving away. It's the physical proof of your success. You think showing off your stuff is how you prove you've made it, but it's actually the final trap. The next secret is about the evidence. It's about the exact cost of what you own. You think being proud of what you've bought is harmless, but the moment you put a price tag on your lifestyle, you've given the people around you a target for their resentment. We are going to look at why the exact cost of your assets must remain a mystery, or you will eventually find yourself paying for those assets twice, once to the bank and once to the family. 5. The exact cost of your assets. The moment you tell your family the exact price of your house, your car, or your watch, you have handed them the keys to your autonomy. You think you're just answering a question. You think being honest about what you paid for your lifestyle is a way to celebrate your success with the people who raised you. But in the psychology of power, a price tag is never just a number. It is a comparison. And in a family, comparison is the father of resentment. By revealing the cost, you are giving them the data they need to calculate exactly how much better you think you are than them, and exactly how much of a surplus you have that should be theirs. Here is the final brutal truth. Your family doesn't want to see the bill for your success because it reminds them of the bill they never paid for their own. Think about the atmosphere the next time you mention the cost of a luxury item or a major investment. There is a split second of silence. In that silence, they aren't thinking, "I'm so proud of his financial discipline." They are thinking, "That's 3 years of my mortgage." They are thinking, "He spent that on a car while I'm driving a wreck." Suddenly, your asset isn't a symbol of your achievement. It's an insult to their struggle. You have inadvertently made your lifestyle a critique of theirs. When you reveal the exact cost of what you own, you trigger the entitlement reflex. If you can afford a $50,000 car, then surely you can afford to pay for the family reunion. If you can afford $1 million home, then surely you don't mind helping out with a cousin's tuition. You have moved from being a relative to being a resource. You have signaled that you have excess, and in the tribal logic of a family, excess is meant to be shared. By being transparent, you are inviting them to audit your life. They will look at your purchases and judge them. Why did he buy that? He should have invested it. He's becoming materialistic. He's forgotten where he came from. They use the price tag to justify their concern for your character. But their concern is just a mask for their discomfort. They want you to stay within a price range they can understand. They want your assets to be visible but not offensive. Stop giving them the numbers. If they ask what the house cost, the answer is, it was a fair deal. If they ask about the car, it's, I got it for a good price. Never give them the hard data. When the cost is a mystery, they cannot calculate your tax rate in the family. They cannot argue that you are throwing money away when you refuse to bail them out of their own poor decisions. Silence regarding your assets is the only way to maintain the boundary between your success and their expectations. You have spent this entire journey learning to lock the doors. You've hidden your income to prevent dependency. You've hidden your moves to prevent sabotage. You've hidden your hustles to prevent micromanagement. You've hidden your sacrifices to prevent manipulation. The pressure you feel right now is the weight of your own potential finally breaking free from that chain. You are realizing that the path to true respect isn't through being the nice open guy. It's through being the formidable silent force, the person who loves their family deeply but protects their destiny fiercely. You are no longer a project to be managed. You are a man to be respected. This is where the realization must land. You are not keeping these secrets because you are cold or because you don't love them. You are keeping these secrets because you are the only person responsible for your sovereignty. No one, not your mother, not your father, not your siblings, is going to protect your assets as fiercely as you must. If you give them the data, you give them the power to destabilize you. If you keep the silence, you keep the peace. This shift in identity is not a phase. It is a permanent recalibration of how you move through the world. If you recognize the truth in these words, if you feel that the old you is finally being replaced by someone with a spine of steel, then align yourself with this movement. Like this video and subscribe to the channel. This isn't a favor to me. It is a signal to yourself and the algorithm that you are moving in a different direction. It ensures that this energy stays in your feed and keeps you sharp when the world tries to make you soft. For those of you who know that information is only the first step, those who want the deep-level strategies for social dominance and the dark arts of influence, the inner circle is waiting. Join the membership today. This is where we go beyond the public conversation. This is where the real work happens, away from the eyes of the average and the uninitiated. If you stay on the outside, you are choosing to fight this battle alone. If you join, you move forward with a tribe that understands the cold truths of power. The doors are open for those who have the courage to walk through them. Thank you for staying until the end. Most people don't have the stomach for this kind of confrontation. The fact that you stayed shows a level of discipline and hunger that is rare. You have earned this insight. Now, you have a choice. You can go back to being the open book and wonder why you're still being read by everyone else, or you can shut the door and start building your empire in the dark. The audit of your life has already begun. The next time you sit across from your family, remember what is at stake. They will look for the leak. They will wait for the old you to start talking. Stay silent. I'll see you in the next video. The world is watching. Make sure they see nothing but your results.